My name is Rana, and I'm a case manager with the PASS program. PASS stands for Pre- and Post-Arrival Supports and Services. I do support clients that are based in Alberta or planning to come to Alberta. Many of the work that we do is supporting them with their credential recognition and getting to know the assessment process as internationally educated nurses in Alberta. The program is not just in Alberta, it's pan-Canadian, so our services are present in other provinces as well and offered to internationally educated nurses in other provinces too. Yeah, so one-on-one case management involves providing one-on-one supports to clients tailored to their needs and their situation. Those includes supports when it comes to getting them started on the nursing assessment process, helping them understand the different regulators' requirements. Although we do not communicate on behalf of regulators, but a big part of the work that we do is helping nurses understand the various regulators' requirements, connecting them with IEN navigators, and those are individuals who basically support them not just in confirming that they meet the regulators' requirement, but also when it comes to understanding where their experience fits within the Canadian workplace culture. In addition to that, we do make sure clients are supported by offering them communication courses, ensuring that they are signed up for the communication courses that we offer for free in PASS, referring them to different language supports options, different employment opportunities, supporting them in tailoring their resumes and their cover letters based on various job descriptions that they're applying for. So basically, the services that we offer ensure that clients are well equipped at the different stages of the process in which they're at, understanding their needs, and depending on their needs, we offer them the support that matches what they're looking for. Nursing Week for me is more than recognition. It's a reminder of the impact that we have every single day as care centers. So the moments that don't always get seen, the conversations that change someone's path, the trust that's built when someone feels truly supported. So to all nurses and healthcare professionals, thank you for the care, the compassion, and the dedication that you bring every day. The impact that you're making is real and it truly matters. So happy Nursing Week.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for attending Care Center for International Educated Nurses Week 2026 online event. My name is Lawyer Sherry, and I'm a case manager for Care Center for International Educated Nurses PASS program, and I'm located in British Columbia, and I serve British Columbia and Yukon. And I am an IEN. I'm a registered nurse who has been working in Ontario in cardiovascular intensive care unit at Sunbrook, and then relocated to BC, where I was working as ICU travel nurse across BC. The rest, I think, I am proud to be a care center member. We hope you are all enjoying Nursing Week 2026 so far. Today's presentation will begin shortly after the land acknowledgement, and then we will hear the inspiring words from keynote speaker. We acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional territories of Indigenous peoples who are the past, present, future caretakers of this land we call Canada. We acknowledge that we are gathered today virtually with participants attending from coast to coast on the ancestral and unceded territories of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We respect and affirm the inherent and treaty rights of all Indigenous peoples across this land. We recognize that we each have a role to play in path of decolonization, and I ask you to now take a moment to reflect upon and acknowledge the harms and mistakes of the past, to consider how we can each, in our own way, move forward in a spirit of reconciliation and collaboration. Let's take a moment. Thank you. I would now like to say a few words about our recorded keynote speaker, Dr. Leigh Chapman. Dr. Leigh Chapman, Chief Nursing Officer of Canada, named in 2023 as one of Maclean's top 10 healthcare innovators and as one of the 50 most influential Torontonians, Dr. Leigh Chapman is a leader within the field of nursing and healthcare. Leigh is a registered nurse, RN, with over 20 years of experience. Over the course of her career, Leigh has gained a deep understanding of nursing through her work in both frontline and clinical leadership capacities. Her professional experience spans various settings, including clinical care, education, research, professional practice, administration, policy, and advocacy. After obtaining her Bachelor of Science nursing degree, Leigh completed a master's in clinical health sciences from the nursing graduate program at McMaster University. Leigh then completed her doctoral work in 2019 at the Lawrence S. Bloomberg Faculty of Nursing at the University of Toronto. Her research provided key insight in ways in which the regulation of health professionals intercept with organizational priorities acute care settings. As Chief Nursing Officer, Leigh recognizes the importance of contributions of nurses at the federal level and aims to ensure their integration into decision impacting the profession. Within her role, Leigh provides strategic advice from a nursing perspective on priority policy and program areas. She plays a convening role with provincial, territorial government, federal departments, regulatory bodies, colleges, educators, and others on key nursing issues. Additionally, Leigh represents the Government of Canada at public forums, both within and outside of Canada. Leigh is committed to advancing the nursing profession in Canada to ensure equitable access to safe, quality care for all. Let's hear the message from Dr. Leigh Chapman.
Hello, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. My name is Leigh Chapman, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer with Health Canada. Je suis l'infirmière en chef du Canada. I'm delighted to be wishing you all a happy Nursing Week. This year, the theme for National Nursing Week is the power of nurses to transform health. And when we think of internationally educated nurses, you are choosing Canada to transform our health systems from coast to coast to coast. So I really want to applaud the work that you're doing in a variety of sectors, in a variety of settings, and in a variety of organizations and even jurisdictions in Canada. You are a vital part of our health workforce in Canada, and we welcome you and thank you for choosing Canada. I hope that you all take time this week to celebrate the nursing profession, to acknowledge the important work of your colleagues, and to celebrate the profession. All of you are making such an important contribution to the health of people in this country. And I really want to thank you and wish you a very happy Nursing Week. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you.
Wonderful words from Dr. Chapman, and we thank you for her continued support of Care Centre and nurses across Canada. Before I introduce today's moderator, I would like to encourage everyone to use the Q&A button in the Zoom to ask questions during the presentation. That way it will not interrupt anything. As a brief question and answer period will take place at the end of the session. I would now like to introduce today's moderator, Tina Novotny, who will be moderating today's session. Tina Novotny is a case manager, a mentoring lead with Care Center's pre-arrival and post-arrival supports and services program, known as PASS, funded by IRCC. She has a background of journalism and healthcare communications with masters from Western University. Tina has worked with Care Center for 15 years and recently completed her teaching English as a second language certification. What can I say? Tina, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Loy. And we do have our executive director, Rola, with us this morning. So Rola, maybe just before we go to you, because Loy is her typically modest self. That was 15 years ago when we created the Joan Lesmond Award, IEN of the Year Awards. And we have our four esteemed panelists with us today who are previous winners. I will be introducing them as well. But when we established the award, we did this write-up about Loy, and I think we need to really consider what the IEN journey is like through her experience. Loy immigrated to Canada from Tanzania and graduated from Care Centre as a registered nurse in 2004, as we like to say, completing the program with registration. In nominating Loy for the Care Centre Joan Lesmond IEN of the Year Award, Pamela Meyer, manager of the cardiovascular ICU at Sunnybrook Hospital, wrote, "Loy is a very dedicated nurse and cares deeply about her peers, families, and patients. It is very refreshing to see such excitement in a profession. I'm truly honored to work alongside Loy. She is the recipient of many letters of recognition. One example of the resounding theme is, I would like to thank you for your kindness and excellent care during my loved one's stay." In her essay for the award selection process, Loy wrote, "As a single mom of 4 young children, coming to a foreign country was a big challenge financially, psychologically, socially, and emotionally. On top of that, I had to face all the frustrations and uncertainties which came with the licensing process. My story changed, however, when I joined Care Centre. Care patiently listened to my fears and conducted an initial assessment. This turned out to be an important tool in reminding me that I already had the knowledge, skills, and experience in the field of nursing. Care staff gave support, guidance, and encouragement throughout the licensing process. Successful nurses shared stories of their journey, which in turn encouraged and helped me conquer my fears and uncertainties. I will always be grateful to Care Center for restoring and rewriting the pages of my nursing experience by giving me confidence and a learning platform. The new me, strong, confident, and ready to enjoy my passion of nursing, trickled down to my children who've been working hard to achieve their own goals. So there we go. So Rola, did you want to say a few words before I introduce our panelists?
You made me feel emotional at the moment, and
I'm going to cry.
thank you so much. I have to say, Joy gave me an opportunity back in 2013. She interviewed me as my first stepping stone into the Canadian kind of Canadian workplace. She interviewed me to become a care center facilitator for the course, like the prep exam at that time, the Canadian registered nurse exam. And I was like supplying for 1 or 2 kind of sessions, or 3 sessions. And this is being a care member from 2010. Was like something great. I got my first paycheck from care. I can't recall the number, but I received a paycheck from care at that time. So just to kind of fast forward, here I am today. I went through so many stages with care and with other organizations as well, as an educator at Humber College, York University, and Centennial College, and also a case manager at Care Center, and promoted to a program manager, then been interviewed through extensive, I would say, panel interviews for the executive director role, and I assumed the role. So that's just for all my colleagues of IENs who are from pre-arrival to post-arrival. The skies are your limit, so never say never to anything. Just have an open mind and an open heart to those opportunities, because this is when the word opens the arms for you. So Loy opens for me an opportunity. Tina one day sat next to one of my colleagues that I met in United Arab Emirates, and I said, go to Care Center, don't waste your time, you get the support. And Tina sat next to the lady in one of the information sessions in person, that's pre-COVID, and she said, how did you know about Care Center? And she said, Rola, actually from United Arab Emirates, she's a common friend to a friend, and she mentioned Care Center. And this is how we build actually on our, I was telling the Joan Lesmond Award how I'm actually humbled, and I don't get the honor to be a Joan Lesmond Award winner, but I'm so honored to be working with them and to ask them to continue to be our ambassadors. So this morning, I had the pleasure to attend one of the International Council of Nurses session, because today happens to be the International Nurses Day across the globe. I know that Canada, they celebrate a whole week, and they celebrate it as a nursing week, because we celebrate our supporters to nurses, our colleagues in the other professions, and anyone who is in the healthcare system. And that's why we have a whole week of celebration, the nursing week. But in the world, they celebrate this day. So the COO and the president of the ICN, and I always kind of look at this and say, the amazing work and the impactful work they do. I went to 2 or 3 ICNs through my career, and every time I look at the room of thousands of nurses across the world. So I would always say we're not IENs, we're global nurses, because many of us at least practice in 2 or 3 different countries before we chose to be in Canada. And thank you for Dr. Leigh Chapman for again reminding us how we contribute to Canadian healthcare system and how Canada welcomes us, and we have to keep this in mind all through our career journeys, from licensure to advancing our careers to leadership to contributing in many areas like being educators, being researchers. A quick note on what the ICN actually theme was for today is empowering nurses save lives, and empowering nurses really saves lives. The reason why, because if we don't have nurses, the patient will remain unattended. The communities will be unserved as community health nurses. And also our senior population, which there are evidence. I will encourage you to go and read about the report they they actually launched today. Our aging population will not be able to be served without nurses. So nurses are the backbone. And something from the today's session at the ICN is this: they actually indicated 7 powers of nurses, a new model, which is nurses actually trust and they protect safety. The power of professionals, they deliver quality of care. The power of numbers, we're thousands of us around the world, expand coverage. The power of practice, optimize the workforce globally. The power of care, optimize workforce. The power of proximity, because we reach to communities, we're closer to our patients and clients. And the power of peace. And we don't want to forget how many nurses across the world are working in a very kind of risky and geopolitically kind of unsafe environments. Defend them, help them, ensure their well-being is being protected. So this is my message today to all of you nurses. Once a nurse, forever a nurse. And here I am. I don't want to take the time from this very wonderful Joan Lesmond Award winners, but I just wanted to mention how I'm grateful to be here today in Canada and to be supporting nurses across the world through our work at Care Center. Thank you, Tina, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Loy, Anna, Viral, Rodolfo, Saba, Mark, Amina, and all my team who are behind the scenes helping, supporting every day our mission, vision, and values. Have a great day. Continue to follow our events this week, and happy Nursing Week and happy International Nurses Day to all of you across the globe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rola. So just before I introduce the panelists, I will give a bit of background about the Joan Lesmond Award and who it is named after. I will also tell everybody, and this is a great situation for Nursing Week, Viral actually has a hard stop at 11:45 because he has to go and see a client by noon, and he has a 15-minute drive. So we'll let him go first after I make the introductions, but just a bit of background about the Joan Lesmond Award. It was launched in 2011, as I said, with Loy the first winner for Care Center's 10th anniversary celebrations. And since that time, 25 registered nurses and practical nurses have been recognized with the award. Recipients have come from the Philippines and India, 2 of the largest home countries of IENs in Canada, but also Jamaica, Cameroon, Tanzania, Peru, Brazil, Pakistan, Tibet, Iran, Palestine, South Korea, and the UK. The IENs of the Year work for supportive employers across sectors from acute community and long-term care. And Joan Lesmond herself had a profound and widespread impact on the nursing profession and on community-based healthcare in Canada and beyond. She immigrated to Canada from St. Lucia in 1970, got her BSCN from Ryerson in Toronto and from Dewville College in Buffalo, Masters of Science in Community Health Nursing, and a doctorate in Education and Health Policy. Over her career, Joan worked with organizations including Regent Park Community Health Centre, Women's College Hospital, the Canadian AIDS Society, Casey House, and the Ontario Hospice Association, among many others, and supported African and Caribbean women affected by the HIV epidemic. Her close relationships with St. Elizabeth Healthcare and the Registered Nurses Association of Ontario, RNAO, were honored with a joint scholarship in her name when she passed. Dr. Lesmond's association with Care Centre goes back to the beginnings of the organization when she served on the advisory committee through the RNAO. Her inspiring career represents the highest professional levels to which nurses can aspire, and Care Centre was proud to dedicate the award in her memory and with her blessing. So the nursing community can continue to celebrate and emulate one of its most outstanding leaders, and we have 5 of them with us today. The call for nominations for the 2026 Joan Lesmond IEN of the Year Awards is available on the Care Centre website. And now that the past program is pan-Canadian, it will be open to nurses, IENs from right across the country, which is a very exciting development. So let me introduce today's panelists. Amina Malik is an RN from Pakistan who won the Joan Lesmond Award in 2022. She is a master prepared IEN working as a nurse educator at North York General Hospital and volunteers her time to support IENs through the Ismaili Nurses Alliance. Viral Pandya is an RPN from India who won the Joan Lesmond Award in 2016. He has worked in community nursing with ParaMed Home Healthcare for more than 12 years and supports IENs coming to Canada from India by connecting them to Care Centre. Anna Kay is an RPN from the Philippines who worked many years in Taiwan. She won the Joan Lesmond Award in 2018 and served for several years as a Care Centre case manager. She currently works at Sheridan Villa, a long-term care home in the region of Peel. And last but not least, Rodolfo Lastimosa is a registered nurse from the Philippines who works as the council chair president of the College of Nurses of Ontario. And he currently works at Southbridge Care Homes as a clinical consultant. He received the Joan Lesmond Award in 2021. And he's recognized by the national publication Hospital News as a nursing hero in 2026. Also, another Care Centre member is there as well in the publication, so you can take a look. And Viral, let's go to you first, because again, we know you're going to have to leave us to actually go care for somebody.
Thank you so much, Tina, for the awesome introduction. But my heart is full, listening, Loy, Rola, and you. And before I begin, happy Nurses Week, being in Canada, but happy International Day to all my international nurses. See, the day I still remember, it's 2 decades back in 2002, in my first year of my nursing college, when I got admission. I still remember when I took the oath, they told us the synonyms of nurse is noble, understanding, responsible, sympathetic, and empathetic. That value I never let go out of my heart. I always kept it with me. And still to the date, when I'm with my client, I give my 100%, how I can ease their pain. So 2 years, when I was in India, I graduated in 2004, and because my dream was to work in, abroad, either US or Canada, I started working only in fast-paced environment. I worked in emergency room. I worked in operation theaters. I have assisted in all kind of surgery you can think of. And because I wanted to come here. And me and my wife, we immigrated in 2012. To Canada, this great country, the land of opportunity. Why we came Canada? Because of the land of opportunity. I really believe, it's for the better future of my family, for my next generation. Now we have 2 beautiful kids. One is 10 years old boy and one 4 years old daughter. They both are born Canadian. And we prefer Canada because Canada offers more opportunity, both professionally and personally, along with the flexibility to grow, adapt, and build a stable life. I wanted to be in the environment where hard work rewarded, diversity respected, and my family could have access to better opportunity and quality of life. And through a word of mouth, one of my friends said when I landed, "Why don't you register with Care Center?" If you can ask me, in this last 16 years, that was the best decision that I become a member of Care Center. Because Care Centers, still to the date, they are standing by me whenever I need any help. So I got my license, and I was looking for a job, and my dream was to work in hospital, no matter what. And I have applied throughout all the way up to Tobermory, all the hospital. I didn't get any single interview because they were looking for Canadian experience. But my wife, she stood beside me. She said, "Don't get into any odd jobs. You are going to get the job. Make sure you attend all the workshop which is provided by Care Center." So I kept on building my resume. And there happened to be there was a workshop, job strategy workshop, like our keynote speaker was talking, the video, introductory video. And I have attended that. At the end of that, job strategy workshop, there must be a interviewer who comes from outside organization, and they evaluate us how we perform. And that interview I have gave, but she was so happy with my answer and my knowledge, skills, and judgment. She wanted to spend 10-15 minutes more with me, and she took almost 20 minutes interview with me. And she said that at the end of the interview, "Viral, I know you are looking for a job in hospital, but this is my visiting card. If you need me, you just one call away." And after that, 4 months, I didn't get the job. And then my wife said, "Viral, you remember that interviewer who gave you the visiting card? Why don't you call her?" I called her. Next day, I was in the office, and they hired me. Still to the date, I have been working with the same company. It's ParaMed Home Healthcare. Okay. And that time Anar Sharif was my case manager. She helped me throughout all that ups and downs and all the journey. And now but I didn't stop there. 2016, I got an award, but I was kept on. I love to be current and relevant, that I can help and I give best care to my clients. I work with newborn to baby boomers. And so initially I was feared, because in the hospital environment, you are supported by so many nurses, doctors. I never worked independently, but then I started enjoying. Why I work in community as a visiting nurse? Because we are the eyes of the client. We have to talk with the doctor, the family, PSW, physiotherapists, occupational therapists, you name it, laboratory technicians. And I utilize my all the skills. I do everything: IV antibiotic, chemotherapy, you name it, I do it. And that's where I stayed working as a community nurse. And I kept on improving my ongoing education. Recently, when I accredited wound care champion program, I got the certificate last week, and I'm in the process now. Gilda Gomez is helping me to fill my competency gap, and how I can work, and how I can achieve my registered nurse license as well. But see, my heart is full. If fellow nurses are working who are not registered yet, once call away, you must be part of care center. They will be with you thick and thin. Like what Rola says, we follow International Council of Nurses. I saw a couple of videos today as well, and they said our nurses, our future. Empower nurses, save lives. That is the theme of this year. And I really value all of you, what you do behind the curtain. Tina, thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for stay on the top of everything in the communication via email, via phone. And I'm really truly humble, eternally grateful to the care center. And I'm always there if any fellow international nurse needs my help. Thank you. Back to you, Tina.
Thank you so much. Yes, I know when we presented you with the award, the Joan Lesmond Award is usually presented in the a nurse's workplace, and you shared about how when you are a visiting nurse, when you go into that client's home, the difference you make in their lives, that you might be the only person that they're going to be connecting with in any given time frame, whether it's a few days or a week, etc. And that really touched my heart. So thank you for everything you do. Next, why don't we go to Amina? Oh, we have a raised hand here. Sorry.
I know Vera had to actually kind of rush to leave us with more kind of impactful work out there, caring for the clients in the community. And I just want to say I'm so actually delighted that you mentioned about when IENs come to Canada, we always think that the only place we can work is within the walls of a hospital or acute care setting. However, changing this kind of mindset that we can contribute to the care of clients and to ensure that they're receiving this care in their homes, at their comfort, and still practicing our nursing competences and knowledge and skills through like IVs, through wound care. And this is what maybe IENs sometimes think, like, I've been in acute setting doing all these kind of practicing all these skills and caring for clients in these kind of aspects. We still be able to do this as nurses in the community and in at home, helping and supporting the families and supporting the patients and the clients in their home setting. So I'm happy that you mentioned this. I'm delighted to know that you are actually now working in the community, because this is what we need to actually start thinking, that there is an aging population. There is a need for IENs to be serving the clients in the community. I know we need to ensure that we're confident enough, because as well, you said there's a lot of autonomy and independency in that, but we are here at Care Center to build and support those kind of competences needed for this independency and this autonomy in the community. So thank you, Viral, and I don't want to take too much time. I just want to mention this because I want to, like everyone, to consider your journey as actually setting stone to community health nursing and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Rola. So Amina, who does work in the acute care setting at
That's
North York
correct.
General Hospital. She's one of 3 Joan Lesmond Award winners from there. So you can obviously see that North York General Hospital certainly is very supportive of IENs. And she is currently working as an educator there. So Amina, please share your experience.
Thank you, Tina. And I have some of the points which I did not want to kind of, forget. So I might be kind of, sharing my story, with my flashcard here. But before I start, I just wanted to say Happy Nurses Week to each one of you here, because that's something which is a recognition and appreciation to what we do and we have been doing. So I really feel honored to be part of this amazing panelist team here. And thank you, CARE, for inviting me for this particular experience, which is really meaningful and valuable to me. I began my nursing career in Pakistan, where I completed my diploma in 1995, and then my bachelor's of science in 1999. I'm not going to tell you my age, but you would see that it has been around 25 years now with my nursing career. And then I pursued my degree of master's in advanced nursing from the University of Sheffield, and then I completed that from that university in 2013. I started working as an RN in the med-surg units. I became nurse educator there back home, and then I received Best Clinical Teacher Award, which was again, a proud moment for me at that time. I was then promoted to progressively senior positions at the hospital, and I began instructing nursing students, providing clinical preceptorship, and then working at senior director level at that time. I was very much involved in the research and publication as well, and I was part of many interprofessional forums and committees as chair, co-chair, or member. In 2016, my family and I made a decision to move to Canada in search of better opportunities for our children. And I guess that's, one of the base, kind of reasons for many of us to come to this country. And then this transition came at the time when really I was at peak of my career and I wanted to restart, which was not easy because we all know that Canadian health system is a little different than what we have been used to back home. So despite my education and experience, I was required to go through additional regulatory steps. And at the same time, actually, I faced a personal loss with my father. So he became terminally ill and he passed away at that time. It was 6 months when I was here and I had my OSCE date, already in place. So this was really an emotional and professionally challenged time for me. However, I know is like it's very clear in my mind that actually care team and of course my family and friends were there to support me during that difficult time. I was able to navigate the process and eventually I obtained my RN license in Ontario in 2018. Took me around 1.5 years, from the time I, came here. So this is not new for any of us. After becoming licensed, I, kind of really wanted to make a conscious decision of returning to the bedside nursing because that was something which was needed to understand the system. I worked, in the acute care setting as well as community setting to decide what do I want to do in future from my professional path. And these experiences were really valuable in helping me adapt and rebuild my confidence over time, with my skills, with my, knowledge. And then I was able to return to my passion for education. And today, again, as a clinical nurse educator, I feel that I'm supporting staff development, I'm mentoring nurses, and I'm contributing to the strength of, nursing practice. So that's something which is my passion, and I'm back, to my goal. So to continue with, what I went through, I really wanted to make sure that, I help the IENs and I give back. So this is where I started my voluntary work with Smiley Nurses Alliance as a member. And then I currently am working as a co-chair, with the purpose to mentor the IENs about license process, their pre and post, expectations. And I want to make sure that the IENs are expecting realistic because there is no way, we could you know meet our goals in Canada in one day. It takes time, but it comes. So I just want to say to my fellow nurses here that your journey may be difficult, but it is a meaningful and worth it. There will be moments of doubt and frustration, but do not lose sight on your purpose. Believe in your knowledge and experience, seek support, and stay committed to your goals. Most importantly, never give up. You may you come here with a dream and you are capable of achieving it. I know all of us could recall a moment where we are like, oh, we are done now, we cannot do it more, we'll go with some other job, we'll go with some other stuff, and we're not doing it more. Believe me, it takes time in Canada, but you get it. You get it. So, on this International Nurses Day, I'm proud to stand here, not only as a nurse, but as an internationally educated nurse who continues to grow, contribute to Canadian healthcare setting, and support other fellow colleagues and mentees in their journey. And I'm always there for anybody who needs any advice, any support, and I could do as much as I can. Thank you. Back to you, Tina.
So beautifully put, Amina. Wonderful. And I'm just looking at the clock. So I think we're about to have one last panelist as Viral goes to see his client. I should also mention, yes, the two other Joan Lesmond Award winners at North York General Hospital in the third year was Edsel Muccia, and more recently, Michael Dane Kulana, who won the award at North York General Hospital. So we shall go to the next. Our former case manager too. Not only is she a committed RPN working in long-term care, she is also an alumni of our actual care center staff. So Anna, if you want to unmute there and share your story, that'd be great.
Happy Nurses Week, everyone, and thank you, Rola. Thank you, Tina, for letting me know being part of the Nursing Week. I'm so proud. So my name is Anna. I have my chit-chat here because I don't want to miss any word that I prepared for our IENs. I am a proud Filipino nurse who came to Canada in 2010 and got connected right away to Care Center because I know I need someone who could guide me through the step-by-step process to shorten the process because I really wanted to get my license right away, right? And because of the help of the Care Center, I got my license within a year of coming to Canada. So I got my RPN license 2011. And to inspire our IENs, on the day that I got my license, I got a call from one of the organization to work night shift as an RPN right away. So that's one of the things that makes me so proud and inspire all the nurses, IENs that, hey guys, you can do it and you should be continuing, it's to continue your dream, right? And to inspire our participants here, we have lots. I always share this, and when I'm talking with our IENs, and after 6 months of being hired as an RPN, I was hired as a program manager, so got promoted right away after 6 months. I spent 8 years in the management position while I was also working part-time as an RPN in one of the long-term care homes of the region of Peel in a butterfly unit. And I also work as a case manager here at Care Center and help lots of IENs also to get their license. And during those years, I am balancing 2, 3 jobs while raising my 2 kids on my own. So maybe you guys can relate, right? It's not easy. So my journey has been shaped by hard work, resilience, and a passion by helping others and a never give up attitude. My experience have taught me that the value of compassion, leadership, teamwork, and continuous learning is very important. So receiving this 2018 Joan Lesmond Award was more than just receiving an award. It was a reminder that, every sacrifices, every challenges, and hard-earned moment in my journey truly mattered. And these times I also sometimes I also doubted myself, during the process, starting over in a new country where, there's a lots of obstacles, adjusting to different healthcare system, balancing the work and the family is not easy. But, there are moments of exhaustion, you feel tired, uncertainty as well, and also a fear of not being enough, right? Because you're in a different country. And this award as well became a symbol of hope and perseverance for me. It reminded me that hard work with compassion and dedication never goes unnoticed. It gave me the confidence to continue pushing forward, not only for myself, but also for my family, for my patients, and for my fellow IENs who are also rebuilding their dreams in a new country. So this 2018 JLA award will always hold a special place in my heart because it represented a lifetime recognition and growth and the strength that keep me going despite all the struggles in life. And today I carry this recognition with gratitude and humility and inspiration to continue making a difference wherever or whenever I am needed. So to my fellow IENs who are here today, never underestimate the courage it took to leave your comfort zone and start over. Every exam, every rejection, which, it's a part of the process, every sacrifices is a part of your journey. It's not the end. And you may feel, sometimes you may feel that healing people you may feel that you are not enough, but remember, healing people in a new country while rebuilding your own life is already a powerful achievement. Stay patient with yourself. Don't push yourself too much. Keep learning and never stop believing in the value that you share in the healthcare system of Canada. Your accent is not a weakness. Don't be shy if you talk in English with the wrong grammar. It's not a weakness. Your story is not a limitation. Your resilience is your strength. And one day, everything you struggled through will become the reason someone else keeps going. So, my fellow IENs, don't never give up. This is the only thing that I always, that push me through. That, it's not the end when you're struggling for something. It's not the end. Keep going because. Canada is a country of opportunity. That's what other IENs are saying. Keep pushing, keep inspiring others as well. Right now, I am working as a full-time RPN in one of the regional long-term care setting, and I love working with seniors. And I keep, I am mentoring students. This is one of my purpose that I feel like I need to, share my passion. And it's not just the skills that they need to learn. They have the new students. They also need to learn how to put the heart, with what we are doing, right? So happy nurses, everyone. And if you need somebody, if you need someone who could push you or give you more inspiration, you are always welcome to connect with us, connect with our care center, case managers. They're always there to help all IENs. They're very I don't know how to say, but they're very supportive. They're always there for you. Even if you already got your license, they will be there, whenever you need them. So keep doing what you're doing, and happy Nurses Week, everyone.
Thank you so much, Anna. That was beautiful. Yes, we always do our best to find solutions and to provide some inspiration. And speaking of inspiration, we will now go to Rodolfo to share his experience. As I said, Rodolfo is one of Hospital News's nursing heroes as we celebrate the month of May and Nursing Week. There's also an article about Care Center in our partnership with Sunnybrook, which is where, of course, Loy was working when she became the very original Joan Lesmond Award winner. We had a subsequent winner there too, Amy Son. Now, Rodolfo, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Care Center, for inviting me to be one of the panelists for this webinar, especially to you, Tina and Rola. I know we're seeing each other with a lot of advocacy for the internationally educated nurses. I'm very humbled and honored to be part of this webinar. Yes, just an introduction of myself. Yes, my name is Rodolfo Lastimosa, and just like Anna, I'm internationally educated nurse originally from the Philippines, and with a diverse healthcare background spanning from nursing, physical therapy, midwifery training, and also leadership, regulation, and long-term care management. Before coming to Canada, I completed my Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Science in Physical Therapy and Midwifery, where I gained early clinical exposure in acute care, maternal care, as well as rehabilitation and community care health settings. After immigrating to Ontario, I continued my professional journey with a determination and resilience, just like what most of the internationally educated nurses here. First, I started actually as a caregiver, and then I became a registered practical nurse in Ontario. And after 11 long years of my struggle to become finally I became a registered nurse in September of 2022. So that was really a symbol of really of dedication and perseverance of my craft as a nurse. So my journey really reflects the experience of many IENs navigating in terms of the credentialing, adaptation, and the integration into the Canadian healthcare system. And over the years, I built extensive clinical and leadership experience across the hospital care, long-term care, especially that I'm at Southbridge Care Homes, where I work today, doing with quality improvement, being part of the College of Nurses of Ontario in terms of the professional regulation and nursing governance. And I am currently recognized as a nurse leader, educator, consultant, and advocate for internationally educated nurses in Canada and globally to serve as an inspiration, as a voice also for all the internationally educated nurses, because it's like I myself, I experienced that, and I experienced all the struggles what the IEN is experiencing. For me, receiving the Joan Lesmond IEN Award in 2020, I think it's 2021, and that was really a meaningful year for me because that was one of the most moments of my professional journey, and it was also a mixture of sadness because that was also the year when my father passed away. I remember they sent me the award to my workplace while I was already prepared because I need to go back to the Philippines, and that was the height of also of the pandemic. But for me, the award really represented far more than just a personal recognition, but it symbolized the validation of the struggles, the sacrifices, and the perseverance that many IENs experience with rebuilding our career in our new country. As an IEN, there were many moments of really uncertainty, and we all experienced that, adjustments and challenges. The award really reminded me that resilience, hard work, and authenticity matters, and that we IENs have tremendous value to contribute to the Canadian healthcare system. And that recognition also carried deep emotional significance because it honored not only my individual journey, but also the collective stories of immigrant healthcare professionals who continue to overcome barriers while serving communities with compassion and excellence. And most importantly, the award strengthened my sense of purpose, and it inspired me to continue advocating for equity, mentorship, leadership development, and inclusion for all the IENs. And it reminded me also that representation matters, that our journey can create pathways of hope for others. So I'm just mindful of the time. Maybe my words of wisdom to all the fellow IENs here is that always remember that never estimate the value of your journey. Our experience, your experience, and your voice, your path may not always be easy, but there may be moments when you question yourself. But remember always that your resilience is already a proof of your strength. And I am a living testimony of that. Be patient with your growth and trust the process. Every challenge you overcome becomes part of your foundation as a leader and a healthcare professional. Always continue to learn, stay open to opportunities, and never stop believing in your potential. Don't be afraid to start small. I started small when I first came to Canada. I started as a caregiver, but when I look back, those were my humbling experience. Many of us began by rebuilding our careers step by step. What matters most is our perseverance, our integrity, our compassion, and the willingness to keep moving forward. And seek mentors, support others, and build meaningful relationship along the way. Nursing is not only about clinical skills, it's also about humanity, leadership, advocacy, and service. And most importantly, never lose sight of why you entered this profession. Your story matters, your contribution matters, and your presence in healthcare creates a stronger and more diverse profession for future generation. And that's all. Thank you.
Again, beautifully put, Rodolfo. And whenever I think of you, I always think of you as this shining, guiding light, because you certainly burnt the candle at both ends, as they say, with all of your work and your studies and juggling so many things to get where you are. And of course, also serving on the CNO Council, which is a very important role. It's great to have an IEN voice there. So we are just coming to the top of the hour, but we can now look at the Q&A quickly. I know usually we have 1 hour for these webinar sessions. Holly Best, who is a Care Center Case Manager, moving into the Language and Communications portfolio as a fellow ESL teacher. She wants to say a quick hello to Anna. It's me, Holly. I'm so grateful for all your training you provided me when I first started as a case manager. It's so nice to hear your great heartfelt words encouraging IENs. We miss you at Care Center. Aw. And we have someone who has shared anonymously inspirational talks from the speakers today. Very inspiring stories. Anna mentioned about speaking and grammar, which newcomers like me can relate to. Sometimes we hold back from talking because we're conscious about grammar and accent. So my question to anyone, any tips and what services are there available at Care Center? Thank you and have a good day. Yes, please get in touch with either your PASS case manager or your STARS case manager. We do have many language supports. Now we do have a full slate of nursing communication webinars because of course, as the nurses on staff always say, you can have the best clinical skills, but communication is such a big part of nursing. So we certainly have a huge slate of webinars you can attend, and then also online courses that you can also access. So if you are not a Care Center member yet, just reach out to us. Just to touch briefly, sorry, Rola, I see your hand, to touch briefly about the Joan Lesmond Awards. The nominations will close on September 11th, so you do have some time. The online application is there. You can self-nominate or have colleagues or patients or family members support your nomination. You just have to be a Care Center member of either the STARS or PASS program and been practicing as an RN or an RPN or LPN in other parts of Canada for at least 1 year. My email address is there, so if anybody wanted to follow up with anything from today's session, please just reach out to me. I can connect you with any of our esteemed panelists today, including Loy, of course. And Rola, did you want to go ahead?
Thank you so much, Tina, Loy, and the Joan Lesmond Award winners who actually demonstrated all the kind of qualities and the characteristics and that is needed to actually present the excellence in care and in leadership and in education, as you did, all of you. And beyond care and compassionate care, nurses, and beyond being heroes as well, nurses needs to take care of themselves. They need to do the self-advocacy and to advocate for their profession. So I see all of this in your, like the work that you do, the meaningful and impactful work that you do. Nothing small. It's all about the the impact, which is big to Rodolfo. So whenever you think about it, that caregiving is very impactful, and you're putting your skills, knowledge, and competences and the compassionate care in really a meaningful way. And for those who are wondering about language, I always kind of, as an IEN, I always like think, am I actually grammarly correct? You know, thank you for ChatGPT nowadays. I'm not actually encouraging this, but sometimes like I have those conversations. What is the best kind of word to use in this sense? And what is the best? Definitely our language and communication instructor who is assuming her role recently, Holly Best, is there, and she's the best in many ways in supporting as a case manager and supporting now as a language and communication instructor. So never hesitate to reach out to your case manager. They can actually refer you to Holly, and Holly can help. If there is no workshops, she would have the material, the resources, and we always have those kind of workshops. We're working on packaging more of those communication and language programs. But I would actually quote something from our former executive director, who is a legacy in leadership and what things kind of put in perspective. She said, like, one day, one of the educators told her, people will not be listening to actually your accent or your whatever. They will be listening to you, to what you're going to offer them. Because if they want to listen about the news, they can go to, and this is quote unquote from her, they can go to CBC or to CNN or wherever. But they are listening to Ruth Lee, Dr. Ruth Lee, because they want to learn about what Dr. Ruth Lee is going to say. So do not hesitate to say whatever you want to say, regardless if this is gonna go grammatically correct or accent is kind of looking like a Canadian accent or any other accent. So I'm just gonna mention this, but again, we're here to help you to build your language and communication, because language and communication is really crucial in the communication and workplace for the safety of the patients and the clients. So to end it up, I can go on and on. Thank you, Tina, for bearing with me, Loy for bearing with me, and everyone. Would you like to have a photo for the panelists so we can use it as well to promote more for our Joan Lesmond Award? If you are okay with this, Mark, would you mind please taking a screenshot for our panel discussion? Yeah, for our panelists to add it. Yeah.
Great. We have her out there too.
So
And
Mark,
we got a good photo.
Okay,
Excellent.
Good. I leave this with you. I don't know. I have my eyes open or closed, but I'm fine.
And I know Amina also has to run away. Thank you so much, all of you. And just further to that, I mean, now with all of our new awareness after the recommendations coming from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, we're all newcomers here. If you are not an Indigenous person in Canada, we're all newcomers here. So never be afraid to speak. We all need to share experiences, because that's the only way to broaden understanding. And there was actually a message in the Q&A to that effect, from Terry. My inquiry is, how can you help nurses who are immigrants, like asylum seekers and refugees, who are struggling to get into Canada with not too much information out there? Can we create awareness? Certainly, there are resources through IRCC's website. Terry, if you're referencing nurses in particular, just reach out to Care Center. Again, you will find my email relating to the Joan Lesmond Award submissions. You can just reach out to the info at Care for Nurses or Pass for Nurses at any time, and we will certainly follow up with you. And Stacy is asking about, how can my hospital better support our international nursing students, supervised practice experience candidates, CNO. We do have a workplace integration program that we offer to employers. So Stacy, same thing. If you want to reach out to me, we can share information about the WIP program, as we say for short, and can look at having a delivery of the program to your employer. And is that, we also have another one. We also need information on RexPN preparation for nurses who are trying to get into the system, to liaise with banks to support IENs. Yes, we do have some Rex PN preparation materials. So please reach out to Care Center. We hope you will be a member of either PASS or STARS. PASS, as we said, is pre and post-arrival supports and services across the country. STARS is supports, training, and access to regulated employment services, because Care Center has now become the parent organization. If you're not quite eligible for membership, we do still stay in touch until you are. And we can also share resources if you can't join at this current time. But we certainly hope you will become part of what we call the Care Center family. So I think that, oh yes, so Mark is putting about the workplace. Okay, great. Stacy, yes, please do be in touch. And on that note, as we honor busy nurses during Nursing Week, I'm sure you all have things to juggle in your schedule for the day. So again, thank you to all of the panelists. Thank you, Loy. Thank you, Rodolfo, Amina, Anna, and of course, Viral, and of course to our Executive Director, Rola, for being with us for the whole session. Take care, everyone. Find my email if you have any follow-up questions. I can always forward them on to our panelists. And happy International Educated Nurses Day, or International Nurses Day, I guess. That's right, Global Nurses. There you go. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.